You know, when my bedroom used to be this right here, it was scary to say, hey, you know, what got you here? You know, can we sit down and have a cup of coffee and say, you know, I really am interested in your life, how you ended up sleeping on Boston Common in a sleeping bag in a pouring rain, with no food, with no telephone, with nobody to talk to. I think the key is beyond seeing a face and a pair of eyes and a nose, that there's a human being behind that face, and that everybody has a story to tell.
I would say to anyone who doesn't know about the Winter Walk, it's really an opportunity to build friendship around a cause that doesn't touch many of our lives. And it's an opportunity to impact any resident that might be experiencing homelessness that's unsheltered, but to do it together.
One thing I would like to see to come out of the walk is to demystify and to destigmatize homelessness, and to realize that this happens to people from all walks of life, and this is an issue that can impact families all over Boston. And these are our brothers and sisters and just regular people in the community who, due to various types of hard luck, ended up on the street. And I want Bostonians to learn about what's it like to live on the street. What are people afraid of? What do they need, and what can we do to help?
A lot of homeless people fought in wars. A lot of homeless people, before they were homeless, they helped build these big fancy homes or condos. And these people don't realize that. Not everybody's homeless due to alcohol and drugs. Some of it's due to economic hardships.
I worked in the healthcare field for over 20 years. I have 4 kids. Went through a bad divorce and state battle that's currently still going on. As a result, I'm out here in the streets.
I've been in the dental field for 20 years. You know, I lost my place due to a flood, and I didn't handle it well, and because it didn't handle the stress well, I lost everything. And since then, I have been trying to just keep the ground underneath me.
What I like about the Winter Walk is all these other communities outside of Boston that come in. Seeing folks get up on stage and tell their story, that's awesome too.
The morning of the Winter Walk, for a moment in time, we get to celebrate the work that's happened, and I think understand and appreciate all the work that's undone.
On that day, we have great service organizations who can teach us exactly what we should do when we encounter people in the street, how we can be a better brother or sister to them.
To me, it's about raising awareness and then ending this crisis, and we do that work together.
Going from having literally nothing, a wet sleeping bag, to having a nice warm bed at night. That's what being housed is all about. I still feel like I don't have enough ham and cheese sandwiches, or I'm gonna run out of peanut butter and jelly. That's just the homeless mentality. And that's where I have to get out of that mode and to realize I'm not homeless anymore. But I'm part of the homeless community and try to move folks ahead. Each and every day we still have to fight to keep these folks alive, my community.
Hello, Winter Walkers. It's an honor to be with you here today and to be representing the Winter Walk Event Committee and Board of Directors.
Today, February 7th, marks the 5th annual Winter Walk.
This event happens every year because there is a great need.
Tonight, more than 6,000 people in Boston will be sleeping in shelters, in cars, on park benches, or on the banks of the Charles.
This event is also happening because 3,000 people, including you, said this is not okay.
That we would walk together to end homelessness.
You might have already walked your 2 miles, or you're getting ready to go outside today for a walk.
But either way, know that there are thousands of us coming together to make an impact.
We could not do this walk without the sponsors who have supported us, the walkers who have mobilized their friends and family, and our partner organizations who work daily to support those struggling with homelessness.
Thank you for joining us today to hear stories and to celebrate. We are grateful for the Winter Walk community.
Hi, everybody. I am so honored to be with you on this year's Winter Walk 2021, though it's not in the way that I would have thought or planned to be with you. What an extraordinary year. And yet, you walk. We are so humbled that you chose to walk in the name and honor and in love this year. So thank you. There is a letter in my tradition written by a man named Paul who said, "We walk by faith and not by sight. We walk by what we believe and not by what we see." Well, that's what I think of you this year. That's what we've all been doing this year because there's so much that we've been cut off from seeing. We are cut off from loved ones. We are cut off from certainty. We are blind to what's going on in the world because we have to distance ourselves. And that means that we also do not see those who need our help and support. We may not see the brother who is sleeping on the grate at night, who needs someone to help him with warmth. We may not see the sister who's huddled in a corner somewhere in a door, who needs food but doesn't know where to go. We may not see the family in desperate need of support for all kinds of things because we're not out and about, but they're there. And so when you're walking today, you are walking for them. You are walking by faith that this walk is important, that you are doing something for someone you may never see. Hold on to that. That is critically important. We walk because we have hope that the future is going to be on the side of justice, on the side of love. We walk because we believe that people deserve equity. We walk because we don't want anyone to feel that they do not matter. So that's why you're out there. And that's why it's important that you do what you do. I just want to encourage you. I want you to know that what you are doing really matters. It counts more this year than ever before. So thank you. We walk by faith and not by sight. Until we are through this madness and this chaos of this pandemic, I want you to remember those words in everything you do. No matter what your faith is, no matter what your spiritual tradition is, keep stepping one step at a time. And especially when you are stepping for someone else. Thank you. God bless.
I'm Larry Siemens, the president of Family Aid Boston. We're a 105-year-old organization that's been dedicated to ending homelessness for children and their parents. Over the last 100 years, we've been working with families to secure and sustain their housing and to help parents ensure that their children are building strong foundations for their future. Family homelessness is oftentimes invisible, but that doesn't mean that the need isn't any greater. There's a very fine line between those who have and those who don't have. And right now, it's important that we bring awareness to those among us who don't have.
I'm Linda Downey. I'm the president and executive director at Pine Street Inn, and we provide street outreach, shelter, job training, and permanent supportive housing for people who are homeless and people who are leaving homelessness. I would say the thing that people know the least about Pine Street, but one of the things we're the most proud of is we now have 850 units of supportive housing throughout Boston and Brookline for people who have been homeless a long time that need not just affordable housing, but some support both to transition into that housing and to hold on to that housing over time. The walk has really created for us a community and a place where I think we all come together, and it's brought some attention to homelessness in our city in such a visible and lovely way.
Hi everyone, I'm Kate Walsh. I'm the president and CEO of Boston Medical Center. The challenges that we see in our patients, on our patients' bodies as a result of them being homeless, or the stress that comes with housing insecurity, shows up in people's health. And so that we can work really hard to improve people's health outcomes. But if we don't address one of the most fundamental needs we all have as human beings, we're really fighting an uphill battle. So we will be much better at doing our job, which is getting people healthy and keeping them well, when people have homes. And I think this is a problem we can solve.
Hello, I'm Andy McCauley. I'm the President and Chief Executive Officer of the New England Center and Home for Veterans, NECHV. The center has been a Boston institution here for over 30 years. The center has grown over the last 30 years to be one of the nation's largest and most innovative, and I believe most effective human service providers to the most vulnerable and challenged veterans in our community. We have 100 permanent supportive apartments that come with services and support, and we have over 200 transitional beds. We provide human services, we provide meal service, we provide medical service. It really is a home. It's a community of support for veterans.
My name is Elizabeth Jackson. I'm the Executive Director for Bridge Over Troubled Waters. We work with homeless and at-risk and runaway youth under the age of 24. We are a multi-service agency, and we offer anything from street outreach, medical, counseling, education, housing, food, shelter, day program, an array of different services. 1 in 10 young people are homeless. Look at a basketball team, 1 in 10. Look at a classroom, 1 in 10. Look at a soccer team, 1 in 10. So our young adults, our young homeless population is everywhere. So that's the one thing I want everyone to take with them.
My name is Deborah Hughes, and I am the CEO at Brookview House. Our mission is to help families who are primarily women and children break the cycle of homelessness and poverty. Brookview is a Black and Latinx women-led organization. We're primarily women who live in the community, so we live with the participants that we serve. So we know what the challenges are, we know what they're going through, so we are real culturally responsive.
My name is Amanda Grant Rose. I'm the Executive Director at Common Cathedral. Common Cathedral is an outdoor church and community run by and for those that call the streets and the shelters of Boston home. Housed and unhoused together, we can build a beautiful, loving community that will advocate for one another and who will strive and fight and work hard to end homelessness in Boston.
Hi, my name is Cameron Van Fossen, and I'm the Executive Director of Y2Y Network. Y2Y Network is building student-led programming to interrupt the cycle of homelessness in the lives of young people. We employ a youth-to-youth model to provide a safe and affirming environment for young adults ages 18 to 24 who are experiencing homelessness. Guests have opportunities to collaborate with service providers, other youth experiencing homelessness, and student volunteers to create sustainable pathways out of homelessness and develop skills for their long-term success.
My name is Jim O'Connell, and I am a physician and the president of the Boston Healthcare for the Homeless program. I've been with the program since we started in 1985, and we were given a mission, a citywide mission, to try to integrate the healthcare of homeless individuals and families into the mainstream of Boston's healthcare system, which is quite renowned. And we have been partnered with the shelters since that time, and our program now has clinics in most of the adult and family shelters under the direction of the homeless people who are, many of whom are now on our board of directors, started a respite program back in 1985. I think the Winter Walk now is far more important than it was when I was stunned by how its importance back 5 years ago. Bringing the stories of people to life, getting people to be able to walk in the footsteps of what homeless people have to do every day. I think those things now are critically important if we as a society are going to really grapple with this problem and fix the disparities and the poverty and the racism and the things that are really driving homelessness.
Hi everyone, I'm Karen LaFrazier. I'm the president and CEO of St. Francis House. St. Francis House is the Commonwealth's largest day shelter for adults experiencing homelessness. We're providing for about 500 people a day who come to us for all kinds of reasons. They need their basic needs met, so we provide food, clothing, day shelter, access to medical care through our partnership with Boston Healthcare for the Homeless. And then we make big investments in helping people move beyond homelessness. St. Francis House provides wraparound services for people experiencing homelessness in the hopes of helping them fulfill their dream and vision for a better life for themselves. I love the Winter Walk. I love everything about what it stands for. It is about bringing people together to stand in solidarity with people who are experiencing homelessness, to literally walk with them and to stand by them and to message to people who are experiencing homelessness that you are not alone in this world, because homelessness is a very lonely place to be.
So take a walk in their shoes. Imagine a day like today, carrying all your possessions in plastic bags, trying to find a place for your kids to sleep tonight.
So we have in the city of Boston and across the Commonwealth too many families, too many children that are experiencing homelessness. In the Boston Public Schools, we have 5,000 students experiencing homelessness, 10% of our student population. I think we don't appreciate the impact that these circumstances have on our families and have on our moms and have on our dads and have on our kids.
My hopes are to just, I want my daughter to see me succeed, and I want her to know that, I don't know, I just want her to be a happy little girl. And that's easy to say because I was a happy little girl. I was happy, I was a happy kid. And it's just like one choice or choices that you continue to make will change your whole life.
One of the things that we're so concerned about when we think about our children who are experiencing homelessness is that they too as adults have such a higher likelihood of being homeless as adults.
I don't think that things would have been okay had I not had a roof. I think that it would have led to a disaster. When we were in just one room together at the shelter, I feel like she didn't know any different. And now that she has her own room and she has all her own stuff, and I have my own room, and we have a nice kitchen and we have a nice living room, and yeah, it's a really happy thing. So I couldn't imagine having an older child or multiple older children knowing exactly what's going on at every second.
And the visibility that the Winter Walk brings to the issue and the crisis of homelessness does open the eyes of our residents to this crisis. When we think about what do families who are experiencing homelessness need, they need permanent housing.
I think homelessness is a part of me, but for me, no, I'm much more of a person than homeless. Yeah, that's not who I am. Oh, Ellie, I love you.
Hi everyone. We are missing all of you so much and our time together live on Copley Plaza. But this year has shown us how strong and resilient our Winter Walk community is. So many of you have already taken your walks around Boston, Massachusetts, as far away as Alaska, the UK, and even Korea. We are so grateful to all of you. And if you haven't taken your walk yet, it's not too late. We'll extend this throughout the week, all the way to next Sunday, so that we can walk together to show that ending homelessness is within our reach. The year that's passed since last February when we walked together has been incredibly hard, frustrating, scary, but also somewhat hopeful. So today, let us bask in that hope and some joy that we can come together to say that we care about this issue and that we'll raise our voices again and again until we don't have to. I'm amazed to say that this community has come together this year, 2,000 people strong, and has raised, through walkers, donors, and sponsors, close to $750,000. Saying that out loud gives me chills because I know the impact it will make on our vulnerable neighbors in need. Every year I get the pleasure of sharing thanks with everyone who comes together to make the Winter Walk happen. Thank you to our wonderful board of directors, led by Paul English, our founder. And thank you to our co-chairs who you heard from earlier, Boston City Councilor Anissa Asabi-George, Enrique and Jesse Colbert, and David and Katie Beeston. Your leadership has been incredible. Your tireless work to make this event a success is overwhelming. And to our event committee, our very first event committee that we've ever had, you're all rock stars. You've brought this event farther than we could have imagined to new participants, schools, religious organizations. It's a gift. And then thank you to our sponsors, who don't just show up with money, they show up. They bring colleagues, family, friends, even their dogs to walk with us and say they care about ending homelessness. Our presenters are Boston Medical Center and Boston Medical Center Health Net Plan. Boston Medical Center isn't just a sponsor, they're one of our partner organizations, and they care for the community we all care for together. To our sustainers, your incredible gifts make a huge impact. Thank you to Bombas, CBRE, Citi, Goodwin, the Gordon Family Foundation, Liberty Mutual, Natixis, the Pucker family, and Wayfair. Thank you to our friends, Arctos, Fidelity, HYM, Littler, Marsh, Morgan Lewis, Shearman and Sterling, WS Development, Wolf Greenfield, and Yellowwood Partners. To our supporters, Aon, Aramark, Beacon, Buckley, Canestraro, Crossroads Presents, Delbrook JKS, EY, Fragaman, Gilbane, Goldman Sachs, PwC, Sharon and Lodgen. An extra special thanks to Thistle Communications, to Rafi Nova, to Sign Design, to Trillium Brewing Company, to NIFT, The Friendly Toast, The Well Coffee House, Peak, Cafe Nero, and Make Stickers. Thank you all so much for coming together. We've shown everyone this year that nothing will stop us from raising our voices and that ending homelessness is within our reach. We'll see you next year back on Copley Plaza.
Cobblestone pillow, the newspaper sheet, 10 below 0, sleeping on the street. Someday we all will have a home, a place to come in from the cold, somewhere so high above the clouds. Why not here? Why not now? Pastures of plenty for the tired and poor. Still too many hands empty behind the golden door. Someday we all will have a home, a place to come in from the cold, somewhere so high above the clouds. Why not here? Why not now? Someday we all will live the dream. There'll be no cracks to fall between. Somewhere where everyone will have enough, but here and now, it's up to us. suffering will cease. There's more than enough to go around. So why not here? Why not now? Why not here? Why not now?